You were guided here for a reason. What's coming to you isn't mere philosophy. It's a living vibration woven into the very essence of existence. This isn't speculation. It's a design quietly handed down through time, not through pages, but through silence, symbols, and shifts in perception. And now it's in your hands. Forget everything surface-level teachers have said about manifestation. Peel back the distractions, and what's left is a precise, ancient operating system. Your inner state emits a signal, and reality responds with perfect fidelity. Not your hopes, not your words, but your deepest resonance. This unfolds in 3 sacred stages. First, you notice the frequency you're already sending, the invisible current shaping your moments. Second, you gain the ability to consciously adjust that frequency toward what your soul truly desires. Third, you observe how that refined vibration manifests into your lived experience. But this teaching isn't for the curious. It's for the devoted, those willing to create, not for ego, but for evolution. Let's begin. In a quiet coastal village, Marble tended her garden at sunrise. She noticed something unusual when she worried over her plants. They drooped, even under perfect care. Yet when she spoke to them warmly, expecting a flourish, they reached for the sun with undeniable vitality. At first, she shrugged it off as coincidence, but soon she saw the pattern everywhere. On days she believed life was against her, traffic clogged, calls canceled, frustrations mounted. On days she moved with calm trust, obstacles became doorways. Her thoughts weren't merely thoughts. They were signals, and the world reflected them faithfully. Your mind doesn't just think. It transmits. Every recurring belief, every quiet assumption sends out a vibration that reality aligns with. If your inner voice whispers, "Not enough," the outer world mirrors scarcity. Shift that frequency even slightly, and everything reconfigures. Take Chester, a bookstore owner. One overwhelming morning, he paused, inhaled deeply, and simply felt gratitude for being alive. That tiny moment of presence altered everything. Lost deliveries arrived. Rare editions appeared. Customers walked in asking for exactly what he'd been hoping to sell. His moment of alignment didn't just touch him. It radiated outward, reshaping the rhythm of his entire day. This uncovers a deeper truth. Focus amplifies. Whatever you hold steady attention on, especially when infused with feeling, grows in influence. A single breath of sincere gratitude, held with awareness, can awaken invisible currents of creation. So, how you fine-tune your signal? Begin in stillness. Choose one intention, not as a demand, but as a gentle presence. Don't force it. Let it settle in your chest like soft light. Breathe with it. Let it shift from a thought into a living frequency. In that space, you're not asking the universe for anything. You're quietly declaring who you are, because it's not just your thoughts that sculpt reality. Your feelings are the true engine of manifestation. Think of feeling as the electricity powering the blueprint. 2 people can hold the same idea, one with doubt, another with calm joy, and receive entirely different outcomes. Why? The emotional signature behind the thought is what the universe responds to. Alone, living in a bustling city, notice this clearly. When money anxiety gripped her, bills spiked and chances slipped away. But on days she carried a sense of inner abundance. Even without proof, doors began to open, not because she forced positivity, but because she felt prosperous at her core. Virgil experienced the same awakening. For years, he harbored resentment, convinced the world owed him. Walls kept rising in his path. Then one day, he released that bitterness, not for others, but for himself. As his inner climate shifted, so did his outer world. Blocked paths cleared, old ties revived, new ones emerged. The universe doesn't care about your story. It responds to your emotional atmosphere. Your spirit carries a distinct vibration, your soul's signature in the cosmic symphony. That's why some journeys flow effortlessly, while others feel like climbing glass. You're not meant to imitate others. You're meant to resonate as yourself. Roy, a merchant, learned this the hard way. He mimicked every tactic of successful traders. Same routines, same language, same methods. Yet success eluded him. Exhausted, he finally let go and followed his own quiet intuition. Within days, clients sought him, not for technique, but for authenticity. The universe honors truth, not performance. Your frequency isn't something to fix. It's something to respect. Sit in quiet. Breathe. Release the image of who you think you should be. Simply exist in that stillness. There, you reconnect with your natural resonance, the frequency only you can activate. But here's the catch. Your spoken affirmations hold little power if your subconscious beliefs contradict them. Fiona repeated, "Abundance flows to me daily." Yet her finances remained stagnant. Why? Beneath her words lived a quiet conviction. There's never enough. And that hidden certainty was running the show. Your deepest beliefs function like background software. They shape your reality, whether you notice or not. Harlan, an artist, believed creativity required struggle, so he sabotaged every opportunity for ease. Only when he questioned that belief, what if joy fuels creation, did his work finally reach its audience. Healing begins not by fighting these beliefs, but by approaching them with kindness. Place your hand on your heart. Ask gently, what do I truly believe about my worth, about what's possible for me? When a limiting belief surfaces, don't push it away. Breathe warmth into it as if comforting a frightened child. In that compassion, transformation begins and worthiness becomes key. Maisie wove beautiful tapestries, but hesitated to share them. Convinced she wasn't important enough, her desire was real, but so was her self-doubt. And when longing clashes with unworthiness, manifestation stalls. The universe cannot deliver what you believe you do not deserve. Gideon, a gifted musician, played at empty rooms for years because deep down he felt success belonged to others. Then one night, after performing a song that moved even him, he whispered, "I am allowed to receive this." In that moment of self-acceptance, everything shifted. Offers arrived. Audiences expanded, not because he altered his music, but because he shifted his receptivity. Your actions carry energy even before words emerge. Della, observing her father's market stall, noticed customers responded to her energy, not her words. On light and open days, they flocked to her. On tense days, they kept distance, even with the same smile. Your presence precedes you. It speaks without sound. Thatcher, a shepherd, clashed repeatedly with neighbors over grazing land until he noticed he entered every conversation armored for battle. One morning, he softened. Words stayed the same, but his energy shifted. Suddenly, solutions appeared. Conflicts dissolved. The field reacts to the frequency you bring. Indecision carries frequency, too. Waverly sat frozen between two paths in a meadow, unable to choose. Hours passed. Even birds avoided her. Her uncertainty had become a force field of stagnation. The universe moves with certainty, even if imperfect. Action born of clarity, however small, generates momentum. Oswin, facing financial ruin, sold a single ring. That tiny act broke the paralysis. One sale led to another. Momentum grew. Clarity draws alignment. Your expectations shape reality even more than your wishes. Iris tended her garden faithfully, yet it barely blossomed. Meanwhile, her neighbors thrived. One day, Iris caught herself thinking, she has the magic touch. I can never succeed with plants. In that instant, she saw the truth. Her expectation of failure outweighed her hope for success, and expectation always prevails. Lyle, a fisherman, scanned the horizon each morning, dreading empty nets. His net stayed bare. Then one stormy night, an unusual calm settled over him. He didn't pray harder. He simply expected goodness. The next day, his nets brimmed. Nothing had changed externally, only his inner certainty. But that clarity demands stillness. Bo, a merchant, realized his busiest, most anxious days brought the least reward. His mind raced with thoughts of competition, prices, survival. The more chaotic his inner world, the more his outer world mirrored it. Only when he paused, even briefly, did things begin to settle. Opal, a healer, began taking silent moments before seeing each patient. Her effectiveness doubled, not from new techniques, but from centered presence. Creation flows from calm. Just as a painter needs a steady hand, You need a quiet mind to shape reality with precision. Stillness is not passive. It is a fertile ground where intention takes root. And in that stillness, the universe speaks through synchronicity. Alma, overwhelmed by mental noise, paused at her loom. In the silence, sunlight struck her threads perfectly. Then came bird songs that matched her rhythm. Chance encounters arrived at just the right moment. When inner static fades, divine guidance becomes visible. Florian, a scholar drowning in theories, paused one evening. In that quiet, he noticed a pattern on his bookshelf. Titles that together revealed the insight he had been seeking for months. The universe doesn't shout. It whispers through patterns, numbers, and coincidences when you are silent enough to notice. But precision matters. Prudence wished for abundance. The universe delivered, but as chaotic overwhelm, not ease. Vagueness invites misalignment. Edwin refined his intention, not just success, but the deep satisfaction of creating work that touched hearts. Suddenly, opportunities align with that exact feeling. The universe responds to emotional clarity. Yet, do not cling. Clara declared her goals with fierce determination. Jaw clenched, body tense. The harder she grasped, the more it slipped through her fingers. Benton, drained from controlling every detail of his career, finally let go. He held his intention but released the need to force it. Within weeks, effortless opportunities appeared. Surrender is not giving up. It's trusting the intelligence behind life and manifestation. It's not about mental images. It's about sensory embodiment. Hattie imagined her dream life vividly, yet felt distant. Then she shifted. She felt the sun on her skin, inhaled the scent of her new home, ran her fingers over the textures of her success. In that moment, it became real, and the universe responded. Opposition carries consequences too. Suddy despised her neighbor's wind chimes. The more she resisted, the louder they seemed. She realized that her focus, even negative, fed them. What you fight, you feed. Amos stopped struggling against his circumstances and gently turned toward what he preferred. The problems didn't vanish, but their grip on him did. Your energy ripples outward. Eloise noticed. On anxious days, her office stiffened. On calm days, harmony spread. Vernon entered a tense meeting after morning stillness, and without a word, the room softened. You are not just in the world. You shape it with your presence. True action flows from alignment, not force. Silly movers stall on a quiet inner nudge, not logic, and business thrived. Oren stopped pushing for success and returned to creating from joy. That single inspired act drew more than months of hustling. Not all motion is progress. Only action rooted in inner resonance counts. Listen to subtle nudges. Flora took a longer path guided by intuition and met the person who transformed her career. Baxter followed a quiet sense of rightness over logic and found his purpose. The universe guides through feeling, not force. Relationships are mirrors. Nellie noticed how her inner state shaped how others treated her. Her irritable neighbor reflected her own harsh self-judgment. Irving, once defensive, nurtured self-worth, and the world responded with unexpected kindness. Heal your relationship with yourself, and all others shift. Forgiveness isn't for them. It's for you. Clementine carried old wounds, unknowingly blocking new blessings. When she released them, not to excuse, but to free herself, doors reopened. Peril forgave his younger self. Instantly, synchronicities flowed. Forgiveness clears the channel for grace. Receiving is its own art. Bertie visualized success, but unconsciously resisted it. Roscoe, a scribe, finally stopped proving his worth, and commissions poured in. Like a flower, you don't chase the sun. You open to it. Trust. Relax. Receive. Your self-concept is your anchor. Violet, the gardener, bloomed miracles when she remembered her connection to nature's wisdom. Cyrus shifted from spice cellar worker to keeper of ancient flavors, and his shop became a sanctuary. The universe mirrors who you believe you are. Expand your inner vessel. Fern watched the butterfly emerge and realized her dreams felt oversized because her self-image was too small. Harlem, once a mere copier, allowed himself to step into the role of author, and his stories found readers. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you believe you can hold. Synchronicities are cosmic confirmations. Mabel noticed repeating numbers, phrases, and patterns, not random, but guidance. Roard observed books, conversations, even tea leaves pointing toward expansion. He followed, and new thresholds opened. The universe leaves breadcrumbs for those paying attention. Words carry energy. Zelda's flowers drooped at harsh tones and bloomed with gratitude. Dawson shifted from "I'm trying" to "I'm allowing," and his life softened. Language is more than sound. It is creative force. Choose words that resonate with the reality you are becoming. Gratitude is not mere thanks. It is a magnet. Ida thanked traders for what already existed and received more. Quentin whispered gratitude for patrons yet to arrive, and they came. Appreciation is not reaction. It is invocation. Desire and detachment dance together. Sylvie's garden refused to sprout while anxiety hovered. Only when she released control did life emerge. Milton painted with abandon, letting go of the need for a gallery show. An invitation arrived days later. Want deeply, hold lightly. Consistency outweighs intensity. Pearl noticed steady calm brought more than forced positivity. Winston maintained quiet trust daily, and his bookstore grew, not through hustle, but atmosphere. The universe favors stable signals over emotional spikes. Generosity completes the circuit. Alton gave freely and received unexpectedly. Greta shared bread, not to get, but from a sense of fullness, and abundance flowed. Give from lack, and you reinforce lack. Give from abundance, and you amplify it. Finally, embody your future self. Willer stood in her shop, not as a struggling seller, but as the graceful merchant she knew herself to be. Customers responded. Sterling didn't strive to become a sanctuary owner. He felt the peace, confidence, and certainty of one, and reality reorganized around that truth. And the ultimate revelation, you are not separate from a field. Tessa realized she wasn't calling out to universe. She was a universe, expressing as herself. Barnaby touched an oak and understood that he, the tree, the sky, and his desires were one awareness in motion. You are not attracting reality. You are emanating it. Stop seeking. Start remembering. You are the source, the witness, the creator, the field itself. From this place, calm, clear, certain, your reality will reorganize, not through force, but through resonance.